I've got a Mondo llama craft kit here. This one has these cute little ceramics and it has little cake theme, except one is just a plate with a cherry on top. So let's open it up. I am so excited to actually be able to craft and paint on these. They're just so cute. This kit came with a little paint palette. We've got these pre-mixed colors, very sticky paint brushes, and then of course we have the little ceramics that I'm going to paint on. This one is a little cake and it opens up so you can put things inside of it. And then there's also this little trinket dish too, but this one just has a cherry on top. The little stems are metal, which I thought was pretty cool so that they won't break or anything. It's like pretty strong metal. I'm going to paint these. Before I do, like and subscribe, and let's see what we can create. I'm going into this craft the same way I do with most of my creative art projects, and that's with no plan. I decided I wanted to make the cake baby pink because I am just obsessed with the color light pink right now. I know that it was kind of trendy for a while, and I don't know, it just stuck. Like, I feel better when I'm surrounded by light pink things. I don't know what that's about. My favorite color used to be blue, and I think it's still blue, but now it's a competition between light pink and blue. But comment your favorite color down below, or at least what your favorite color is right now. But now I'm just going ahead and covering the entire base of the cake in pink like it's been frosted, and I'm not sure what kind of paint this is. I thought it was acrylic paint, but it is super glossy and really thick, so I still think it's some type of acrylic paint, but it's definitely acting a little bit different than I'm used to, and it really layered thickly onto the cake. But once I had that painted, then it was time to move on to the top and just add in the light pink on the top too, which was a lot harder because I had to go around all of the different details. But this clay cake is already so cute, so I really don't think I can mess it up too bad with my paint job. As I was painting this, I realized the paint almost matches my desk perfectly, and now I have like a camouflage cake basically. But now it's time to add on the details to the top. So this has a little cherry stem as well with a little cherry on it, and then it also has strawberries. So for the cherry, I did a classic red, and then I did the strawberries. Usually the paint that comes in these kits is not the best. There's not usually a lot of colors, and usually the paint is really thin, but something special was in this paint. This paint was different, and it actually worked so well, and the colors were actually really cute. So I decided for this whole entire cake to only use the premixed colors and kind of make that part of my creative challenge in it. So for the strawberries, I did them pink, and then I added in some darker red to kind of add a little bit of texture. Then it was time to paint the rim of the cake, and for this part, it's kind of pink in between the puffs on top of the cake and where the cake meets the other part of the cake and they come together. And so I wanted to paint it to make sure it was also complete, but it did look like teeth to me. Tell me if you understand that. Like, it looked like gums and then a set of teeth. And then it was time to add white onto all of the little icing and decoration parts. I wanted to keep it super simple and just do a pink and white cake. That way I didn't make it too crazy because it's so cute, and I wanted to do something really artsy and fun with it, but at the same time I wanted it to stay really simple and aesthetic. So I decided to put a little pop of color and fun on the inside instead, have it keep it to itself a little bit more. And I did a bright pop of red in the bottom, which I also thought was cute because it went with the cherries. But to make it a little bit more my own, I decided to bring out my beads. Right now, I felt like anyone could have made this cake. It's just a pink and white cake with some fruit on top, and I want to make it a little more special. So I decided to bring out different beads to add accents to the cake, and I decided to go with these pink little flowers that almost match the color of the cake anyway, but I felt like they'd be a little pop of something special and make the cake look like it was decorated with sprinkles or fondant or something, you know, just to spruce it up a little bit. So I added that on all of the little like piping on the cake and just added that to every single peak on that. And then I went ahead and added a little flower on the top of the cake too, just to tie it all in. And then it was time to add in some details. Of course, I added in some sparkles on the cake. It kind of ended up looking like powdered sugar, but I'm okay with that too because I still think it's cute. But I just felt like it added a little something extra, and here's how the cake turned out. I think it is so cute, and I love the little pop of red on the inside that matches the fruit on the top. But now it's time to work on the next one. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, this one felt very awkward to me. It's just a plate with a cherry in the middle, and I felt like it was really weird to just have a cherry in the middle of the plate like that. Like, it goes along with the other ceramic, but when it's alone, it literally just looks like a plate with a cherry. So it's kind of awkward. So I was trying to figure out how to make it look like a cake so that the cherry would look intentional, but then I felt like the only way that I could really make this random piece of fruit on this plate look like it was supposed to be there was by surrounding it with a whole bunch of other types of fruit. So I decided to make this plate just covered in different fruit slices to try and make the cherry blend in a little more and to make it make some sense. So I started off by painting on a kiwi, and then it was time to do the strawberry. I did use a little bit of my own acrylic paints in this as well to get all of the colors that I needed, but I still also used a lot of those pre-mixed colors, and they were working pretty well, and I thought it was turning out so cute. I decided to just randomly place the fruit and just think of different fruits at a time. Of course, I had to do an apple because it's my husband's favorite fruit, so I thought that would be cute to put in. But I just kept trying to think of random different fruit that would look cute on the plate and just randomly put it onto the plate, and was trusting and hoping that at the end it would just all go together and be cohesive, even though, usually that's not how zero planning works. And it was a little tricky to fit all of the fruit in the right places, but I think I made it work out. So next up, I did an orange slice, because whenever I do an apple, then I think of that phrase that's like, oh, like you can't compare apples to oranges, but like you absolutely can. In my opinion, oranges are typically better. So I'm always like, no, like I like oranges better, but I get the point is that they're just so different from each other. Anyway, do you like apples or oranges better? Comment down below, because I know that you have an opinion. And then it was time to do a blueberry. I feel like there was an awkward space, so I wanted to use the blueberry to fill it in, but I don't really eat blueberries, and I don't really know what they look like that much, so it was really hard to do the little top piece of the blueberry. And then for the last piece of fruit, I wanted to sneak in a watermelon, which are really big and kind of awkward, and I was trying not to overlap it with any of the other fruit because none of the other fruit are touching, so I feel like it'd be really weird if the watermelon was just on top or behind another slice of fruit. So I tried really hard to position it in a way that it was going to be its own piece of fruit also. And then of course I added in all of my highlights and little details to really make it come together, and then I was done with all of the fruits on the plate, so it was time to color in the cherry. Once I colored in the cherry, it was time to do the rest of the plate. I didn't want to just leave it white. I feel like it needed to be a color. So I decided to do this light blue that came pre-mixed with this kit. And I think it's cute, but I kind of wish I just did the light pink instead. Although I was pretty much out of the light pink from using so much of it on the cake. But that's okay. I went with the blue. I felt like it would be a good contrast for a lot of the other fruit colors. And then I did a dark blue outline on the rim to just add even more contrast too. I also did paint the underneath of the plate, but I just did it all dark blue because I thought about making it different colors and adding red in it too. But then I was like, that is so much effort for something you are never gonna see. So I decided to just do dark blue instead and save myself some trouble. But now you know me, nothing is done until I add in a whole bunch of obnoxious white highlights everywhere. So I showed you a little before I, go crazy and add all of my little touches and details. And I'll show you the difference that it makes at the end. I do like it better with all of the chaos of the white designs, but I also know that it is a lot. So here it is before I added the designs and after. Let me know which one you like better. I'm curious to know what you guys think. I let those dry for a day and then I tried to varnish them. I went ahead and varnished this plate with no problems. It didn't really make a difference though in appearance because the paint's already super glossy for some reason, but I did just add this layer on, that way it wouldn't chip as easily. But I tried to add this varnish to the cake as well, and for some reason the varnish was peeling off the paint on the cake. So I have no idea why that happened. My guess is because of the gloss that's in this paint. It's somehow not going together with the varnish, but I'm not sure what kind of paint it is that it would be doing that. Like, I thought it was just acrylic, but now I'm really not sure. So I went ahead and touched up the little white pieces on the cake and fixed all of that up, and then it was finally completed. And here's how they turned out. We have this cute little cake, which is so adorable. I did it light pink and added in some beads for flower decorations. And we have the plate, which took me a lot more time since I painted on all of the different fruits to make the awkward cherry blend into the plate a little bit more. I think they both turned out so cute, but they are both so aesthetically different, which is crazy because they literally came from the same kit. I think this little cake is so cute, and I love that it's a dish that opens up. And I love the little pop of red on the inside. And then the plate is also so cool. I put so much more effort and time into it. And I do really love how the fruit pictures turned out. But I do think it would have been better if the blue plate was also pink. But I still think it's really cute. Comment down below which one of these projects turned out to be your favorite. I love them both for different reasons. But if I had to pick, I think I'm leaning towards the cake. It's just so adorable, and I love food themed art. But let me know which one is your favorite. Comment it down below and like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.